Hey everyone, so today's video is about failure, and in today's video I'm going to share with you a recent failure that I had with my horse Harvey and then kind of the steps that I took to overcome it. I'm also going to talk you through one of the recent rides that I did with Harvey, the one that wasn't a failure. And this is the thing, you guys, like whenever you put yourself out there and do something that's hard or challenging or move up a level or go to a show or whatever, there is a good chance that you're going to fail. And none of us like to fail. Like, it sucks and it's embarrassing and it's hard. And like for me, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I don't want to share with you guys my failure, what went wrong, because it doesn't make me look good and it doesn't make my horse look good. And honestly, it's not fun at all for anyone involved. But we're all in the same boat and we have this amazing community. And so I'm going to put myself out there, talk a little bit through this recent failure in the hopes that it gives you the courage to put yourself out there, to try something new, to expect that you're gonna fail and then that you're gonna learn from it. And I think that one thing about like when you go to a show and you don't win and you don't have the best ride ever is that you learn. You learn a lot, you go home, you try some different strategies to improve so that the next time you can do better. So thumbs up if you're excited to watch this video and learn about failure. Also, check out the description below. I just did a webinar on competition and show prep, so be sure to check that out. I also have a few competition courses, so if you're showing training level, first level, or second level, be sure to check those out below. And yeah, let's get started with this video. Okay, so Harvey is my most special horse. I got Harvey when he was 5 and he was doing like first, second level. Now he's 10 and he's just moving up to the developing Grand Prix. He is such a talented and sensitive and just like the most special horse. But basically, you know, for 5 years I've been competing him, and for 5 years, every time you go down the center line and you halt at X. And so a couple of weeks ago, I took him to a show and I was doing the developing Grand Prix, and I really have been doing my homework. I've been working a lot with my coach and getting through the test at home fine. But at the horse show, at the final center line, I go up the center line and at X you're supposed to pee off, and Harvey was like, hey mom, like we halted X. For 5 years we've been going down the center line at the end of the test and we halt. And he like got really tight in his back and just wanted to stop. And then when I put my leg on, he got even tighter. And it was terrible. Like one judge gave me a 1 and the other judge gave me a 0. So I don't know if you can like fail more than that. Getting a 0 is pretty bad. Let me know in the comments if you've ever gotten a 0 or what your like most terrible embarrassing show moment was. But yeah, this was pretty bad. And I definitely left the show a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I think whenever you have a show that isn't good or a ride that's not good, it leaves you inspired to go home and make things even better for the next show. So after this show with Harvey, I went home. I really was trying to school a lot of center lines and make sure that he understood the places in the arena where he was supposed to pee off, because he can do like really amazing pee off and passage, but getting it at that specific place, like at X, as opposed to just anywhere in the arena, is a whole different thing. So the good news is that I went home, I practiced a lot, and then I took him to a small schooling show just to ride through the test with him, and it was really good. He got an 8 this time on his pee-off at X instead of like a 0 or a 1. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do. The journey is really never done in dressage, but I wanted to talk you through my good test because I'm too embarrassed to show my whole bad test. So I'm going to talk you through the good test and just kind of go through what I'm thinking about moment by moment, and hopefully it will help you if you're planning on showing this season to just give you some strategies for what you should be thinking in the show ring. Okay, so in this particular arena, a lot of times you go around the edge of the arena and then you have to enter from outside. But for this one, you just entered from inside the arena. I've really been working on my transitions from canter, that he goes right from canter to halt, and then from the halt directly up back into the trot. So I kind of think about like building a little bit of pressure and then letting him trot forward that first stride. And then always paying attention to corners, that I really have him bending in the corner. And then before my first medium, that I get him straight and up, and then start your medium and your lengthening. So it's really important that you take a few strides to get every movement set up before you go into it. The next movement we have here is a left half pass. So again, I am really thinking about the corners and the short side to get the bend to the left so that I have it set up for that left half pass, and then changing the bend to the right, and then my right half pass. One of the most important things when you're showing is preparing your horse for the next movement. So you really have to be in the zone, riding every single step and thinking about what's coming next. So then I had a transition to passage between C and H. And you could see when I first started the passage, there was a little hiccup, but then he settles into the rhythm. And we have pretty nice piaffe passage tour. He gets maybe a little bit low in the pull. But honestly, I'm just really trying to give Harvey the confidence for the piaffe and passage in the show ring, because it's kind of a weird thing. It's like he knows in the schooling that he should do the piaffe passage, but he's still kind of figuring out that he should do it in the show ring. And there's a huge leap from the I-1 and the Prix St. George to the Grand Prix, because the Grand Prix is the first time that you have piaffe passage. And so all of a sudden, it's like this whole new movement, and it takes a while for the horse to understand. So for the walk, I always try to remember in the show ring for the walk to just relax, take a few deep breaths, stretch my legs long, and then be thinking about the second part of my test. And then at C, I have a transition up to the canter and right into the extended canter. So again, it's all about the preparation, especially at this level. Every single corner and every single short side that you ride is super, super important. And now going up the center line for my zigzag. So this is a 4-8-8-4 canter half pass zigzag. So I really have to count the stride. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, straighten, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, straighten, straighten, change. And it's really hard to get the count right, to get the changes right. And then right after the zigzag, we go into 7 2-tempies. And again, I really am trying to look up, see the letter, make sure that he's straight, keep the count, and also the activity. And every corner and every short side, again, is an opportunity to make sure your horse is listening, to get your horse on the aids, to make any adjustments that you need to make before the next movement. And then of course the next movement is the 1-tempies. You can see as you move up the levels how everything starts coming like really, really fast. And there's just not a lot of time between movements. Like in training level, you have a lot more time. But at the Grand Prix, everything comes up super, super fast. And so it's really important that your horse is on the aids, that you're riding every step. Now I have my pirouette to the right on the diagonal, and then I make a flying change to the left, and then my left pirouette. So again, it's all about the preparation, because I don't have a lot of time to go from a right pirouette to a flying change back into a left pirouette. So he really has to be on the aids. I have to keep him through. In that left pirouette, he came a little too high in the neck, and I need to remember to keep him a little bit rounder. So now we have our diagonal, our medium, and then our final piaffe passage tour. And again, you know, I was a little nervous because in the last show, the piaffe on the center line was a bit of a problem. So here and across this short side, I'm really testing, you know, that he's in front of my aids. The other thing I'm really making sure is that he's supple enough, because if I lose the suppleness and he gets high and tense in his neck, then it blocks him from keeping going forward. So I'm trying to just establish a nice passage rhythm, keep the rhythm as I turn up the center line, and then with the piaffe, letting it travel a little bit forward. But again, I was really happy with how he actually kept going. I mean, that was a huge improvement from the last show where he just all of a sudden stopped. And then coming out of the piaffe, same thing, trying to help him to settle into the passage and then the final halt. So I was super proud of Harvey. Again, you know, it still is a work in progress. There's always work to be done, but it was a huge improvement from the last show. And I think that I learned a lot by having this failure, by things not going as well as they should. And that's just part of it. So I hope that this encourages you guys to get out there, try a show. I mean, for sure, you want to be prepared. Don't go into a show completely unprepared. You have to be able to ride through the test at home. But on the other side of that, you're going to learn something. And don't be afraid of what other people are going to think or other people are going to say about you, because it's really hard, and we all have failures, and horses are unpredictable animals, and we don't know what they're going to do. Like, we just don't know. And so it's a process. And yeah, let me know if you're showing this season. Also, check out in the description if you're interested in signing up for one of my courses on competition to help get you ready to show this season. Part of each of those courses is you also get to submit a video to me of you riding a test for a review. So that's a really great way to help you get started and get you prepared for show season. And there's also an option if you want to sign up for just a private one-on-one consultation with me where we can go over your test. So thank you for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed me putting myself out there and showing my failure, but yeah, that's part of it. I've had some extremely embarrassing moments in the show ring. One time my horse Trump started like bucking really, really hard, and the judge asked me if I wanted to continue, and I was so mad and embarrassed. I was like, yes, I'm finishing my test. Another time I accidentally forgot to take my bell boots off. Well, actually my groom, aka my mother, forgot to take them off. And so I rode through the whole test, and at the end the judge rang the bell and was like, sorry, I have to eliminate you because you have your bell boots on. So the point being, we all have failures. I think it's important to learn from them, but don't dwell on them. So learn from them, make it better, but don't repeat that failure over and over again in your head, because it's just going to make it worse. And I hope this video is helpful. So I post a new video every Wednesday to help you with your dressage. And thanks so much for being here, subscribing to my channel. My mission is dressage for all, and I hope that you help me to spread the word so we can reach as many people as possible. Thanks so much, guys.